What's up, everybody? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you once again here on the U to the 2. So, Carolina Panthers didn't have a game today, but some big news happened. It finally happened, y'all. It finally happened. The Carolina Panthers have parted ways with offensive coordinator Joe Brady. He's done. He's gone. He's out of there. Big news. I guess for those that are big Friday fans, I guess you could say he got fired on his day off. It's kind of a big deal. But apparently, Coach Matt Rule met up with him this morning, and he talked to him, and he was like, I met with Joe this morning and informed him that I've decided to make a change. I'm very grateful to him for his time and effort in helping us get established over this past year and a half. But you got to go. Bubble Tea District, Joe Valesco, welcome to the stream. Bubble Tea says Matt Rule's next. Could be. Joel says, wow. Yeah. Some may have thought that they may have let him finish the season, but nope. These remaining 5 games, no Joe Brady. So replacing him for at least the final 5 games of the year, senior offensive assistant Jeff Nixon, along with the rest of the offensive staff, kind of as a team effort, will be calling the offense. So Jeff Nixon will at least be in the offensive coordinator driver's seat. But they're going to coordinate. He's going to coordinate the offense with the remainder of the offensive coaching staff as kind of a team effort. And, I think this is just one of those things where, thinking about the time that this was done, I think I'm picturing it. Something tells me, with this being the bye, I think the owner, David Tepper, got on Matt Rule and was like, look, you need to do something. And it wouldn't surprise me if David Tepper was like, if you want any chance left of saving your job, you need to do something. You need to make a change that's going to increase your chances of saving your job. Because as Bubble Tea said, I think it's a chance that Matt Rule might be next, depending on how the rest of these games go. And then we got to think about it, y'all. We can't call out Joe Brady anymore because he's not on the team anymore. So we have to see what this offense, this coaching staff could do. We'll have to see what this coaching staff could do without Joe Brady. Now a big issue is out of the way. Let's see what this offense can do, what Jeff Nixon and the rest of this staff can do. Joe Valesco says, should the Panthers sign Jason Garrett? Good question. Definitely wouldn't want him as a head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, I don't know. That's a fair argument. What do y'all think about Jason Garrett being the future next offensive coordinator? That's actually an interesting question. How would y'all feel about that? I mean, He is. I mean, he'll be available when you think about it. He'll be available. But here's the thing, though. While he will be available, you got to look at where he was. I mean, he was the offensive coordinator under the New York Giants, and we have to look at how the New York Giants have done. You know, Giants, they haven't been doing very well, Joe Velasco. So I don't know. Giants are 4-8, and he just recently got fired. I don't know. I don't know if Jason Garrett would be a good pickup. Bubble Tea District says nah. Yeah, after looking at his status, yeah, I don't think him as an offensive coordinator would be a good idea. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, pretty much 1 year with the Giants, and then he's fired. Yeah, I don't know if Jason Garrett would be a good fit. But looking at these ratings going into this bye, says the Panthers currently are ranked 28th in the NFL with 308.7 yards per game and 23rd in scoring at 19.7 points each game. This is their offense. This is the Panthers' offense so far with this bye week. So, and then you got to look at the struggles on top of that with Christian McCaffrey out, Sam Darnold with his struggles. You know, Cam came in, did a little something, but then the Miami game he struggled. So this is a big deal. But it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if this was David Tepper getting on Coach Rule's butt and being like, you know, gonna make this change, and this is pretty much your last chance to potentially save your job. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Mr. Tepper was like, you're gonna have to win out. This team's gonna have to win out these remaining 5 games for you to save your job. Bubble Tea says, when McCaffrey goes down, Joe Brady doesn't know what to do. Exactly. Facts. So, another question I want to ask. So, with Joe Brady being gone, so pretty much, I guess many could say that's one down. So, with Joe Brady gone, let's say, just for the heck of it, we do win out, or the team does enough that Coach Matt Rule's job is saved, and he at least gets to go into 2022-2023 season as the head coach. Maybe this will open up an opportunity for them to really, well, then again, I don't know if I would suggest Matt Rule to look for an offensive coordinator or bring out one of his own. I don't know about that. But sure enough, we're going to be in the discussion for a new offensive coordinator. It just makes me wonder who may influence that decision. You know what I mean? Who will influence the search, the hunt for a new offensive coordinator? But you may want to start keeping eyes out for the next offensive coordinator while it's, you know, while it's fresh, if you know what I mean. But what do y'all think, though? What do y'all think? Do y'all think Coach Matt Rule, do y'all think he's next? Y'all think he'll make it to the end of the season? Do you think he will start out next season as coach? Do you think he'll save his job? Good Vibes 01, welcome to the stream. We will gladly take him at LSU. Well, he did win a title there. He did win a title there as the passing coordinator. But, I mean, just looking at things, like, Joe Brady just wasn't a good fit. I mean, he didn't utilize the play calling to the best of the players' abilities and just was way too predictable. Way too predictable. You know, Joe Brady just really wasn't consistent. And there were just times where he just didn't know what the heck he was doing. Kevin McFarland, welcome to the stream. Excited for next week now. We will start winning now. I hope so. I really hope so. Good Vibe says, yes, sir. Kevin says, Jeff Nixon looks like a good coach. He really does. Good Vibe says, he's still young, got a lot to learn. Yeah. This is true. This is definitely true. But who knows? Maybe this it's interesting because Jeff Nixon, let's look at Jeff Nixon. You know what? Let's take a look at him. Jeff Nixon originally was the running backs coach since 2020. Let's see. Played college football at West Virginia from 93 to 94, then transferred to Penn State. Interesting. 47 years old. He was a running backs coach at Princeton. He was a student assistant coach at Penn State. Running backs coach at Shippensburg from 99 to 02. Coached at Tennessee Chattanooga from 03 to 05. Running backs. He's worked with the running backs, tight ends, and special teams and recruiting coordinator. He was also the running backs coach at Temple in 06. Then was promoted to wide receivers coach. And he's also spent time with the Philadelphia Eagles. He was assistant coach working with the special teams and the offense with a focus on the running backs. That was from 07 to 2010. And was the running backs coach with the Dolphins from 2011 to 2015. Then went from there in 2016 to the 49ers to coach the tight ends. But then he was let go by Kyle Shanahan in 2017. Then he was the co-offensive coordinator and running backs coach with Baylor under Matt Rule. And then fast forward to 2020, running backs coach, Carolina Panthers under Matt Rule. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how he does. We'll have to see how he does. But yeah, Kevin McFarland, you're right. Jeff Nixon has 10 years of NFL experience. Good Vibe says maybe this is good for Carolina. Love the way he moves the guys in practice. You know, he got some experience with the tight ends as well. Tommy Tremble. He has coached every position. Seems good. Yeah, I know they were saying that, you know, he's pretty much going to be in the driver's seat. But it sounds like the play calling will be an offensive staff team collaboration, which I'm okay with. I'm totally okay with. You know, whatever needs to be done to get the play calling right, to get it aggressive and fresh. And you know something? this could be a good start. With Cam Newton coming back, they can kind of, work on some things. And who knows? Jeff Nixon might be the front runner to let Cam be Cam, and will be able to help dial up some plays that he is used to doing. Not only that, that will be specializing in his abilities as well as the rest of the offense. I know a big thing that needs to happen is consistency with the offensive line. That's still an issue. That's still an issue, because if we want to go anywhere deep, they still got to do their part. But I'm curious, though. I'm curious and anxious to see what this new offense is going to look like under Jeff Nixon in the driver's seat. Anyone is better than Joe Brady at this point. It seems that way, because Joe Brady, his play calling was way too predictable. Way too predictable. Kevin also says, someone said Matt Rule called the game in Arizona. Wonder why is what different. Oh, man. If that's the case, why didn't they stick with that in the next two games? Shoot. If he called the game in Arizona, I would have been the first to be like, okay, Matt Rule, you're calling the offense going forward. Especially considering that Arizona game was a great game on offense and defense. So, Kevin says, we have the talent. We just need unpredictable play calling and good play calls. Yeah. And this is their chance. This is their chance. It was different, so that made sense. And, I think we could still do some damage with the offense we have. Like I said, I know the offensive line is inconsistent, but if Jeff Nixon and the offensive staff can cater to our strengths on offense, then I'm not going to say the offense rankings will skyrocket, but they will at least be serviceable enough to the point where this offense will be able to consistently put up at least 25 points a game. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. But because, as Kevin said, we have the talent. On paper, we have the talent. We just got to execute. Execute. Kevin says, I want 2019 Kyle Allen offense. Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing? 2019 Kyle Allen offense? Had something going for a little while, but then, once we went up against the Niners, everything just kind of went. I don't know. In the games, he was good. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Speaking of which, Washington's currently playing the Raiders right now. The production was there for a little. Yeah, he had some good things going. Statistic-wise, 2019, 13 games, 62 completion percentage, passed for 3,322 yards, 17 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. I think a big issue, though, was he was sacked 46 times. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, Um, Overall, I think Jeff Nixon will be good. He seems more creative and less book smart than Joe Brady. Well, seems like he has a very well experienced track record as far as coaching his positions. Running backs. He's done some wide receivers, some special teams, tight ends. I mean, he's done a variety. So that's a good thing. He's done a variety and he's built up his resume over the years. So I mean, hey, we'll see how he does. Hey, Nathan John, welcome to the stream. Hi, Blitz. Best Panthers news in a while. Pack your ish and get GTFO, Joe. Yeah, it was kind of shocking. A part of me thought that maybe they were going to have him finish the season, but they were like, nope. Mm-mm. I bet David Tepper was like, look, no, there's a change that's got to be done. We got to do it now. And this is a big change. Our Priester says, is Norv available? Norv Turner? That's a good question. Is Norv Turner available? You know what? I'm curious. I would say yes. It doesn't look like he's anywhere. It doesn't look like he's anywhere else. I just don't know if he's retired or whatnot. But an interesting fact, Norv Turner is the only NFL coach with 100 wins to have a losing record. So, I mean, I know that's not offensive coordinator, that's head coaching, but just thought I'd throw that in there. Kevin says, this makes me think, did Matt Rule like the play calling all along? No. That is why Baylor was good. Although, to be fair, while Matt Rule was part of that program, I mean, they were never able to, win a championship or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see if Matt Rule ever get to that point in the NFL as a coach. Nathan John says, Rule better find some NFL coordinator with some results on the board. Can't go the college route. Nathan, what do you feel about Jeff Nixon, senior offensive assistant, taking over the offensive coordinator position for the remaining 5 games of this season? What do you think about Jeff Nixon? Our Priester says that's what I would do. Nor familiar with the offense. Then get defense together. Which, I mean, that's what he's well known for is offensive coordinator. So, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he does a better job at that than head coach. Nathan says Nixon will be a placeholder, nothing more. Yeah, most likely. Unless, I don't know. What if we happen to win out? What if we happen to win out all 5 games? You think that warrants a promotion? Which I don't think it will, because we have to remember this is Jeff Nixon and the rest of the offensive staff doing this as a team effort. So I don't think it's going to necessarily be Jeff Nixon singled out with the offensive play calling. So, LOL, we aren't winning out. We most likely will not win out, but it's not impossible. Yeah, I don't think we'll win out either. but it's not impossible. Evan says he does look determined and very smart. Well, we will see how he applies everything, but may need to start thinking about. For those that didn't see before, what do y'all thought? It was mentioned earlier in a comment. What do y'all think about Jason Garrett? Me personally, I after how the Giants did, I don't think it'd be a good fit. But what do y'all think about Jason Garrett? I don't think it's a good fit personally. I think this may be a spark. This may be a spark for everyone on a fresh slate. Oh yeah, coming out of this bye week, everybody's gotten a chance to recuperate, kind of hit the reset button in a way, so to speak. But it should be interesting. It should be very interesting. But yeah, we may want to start looking at the market, get an idea on the market of who would be available for offensive coordinator. Yeah, we're going to need to start keeping that afresh in our minds. I do want to take a moment to congratulate the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, they have finally gotten their first win. They will not end the season winless. So congratulations to the Detroit Lions for getting a victory, defeating the Minnesota Vikings. Y'all are no longer winless. Nathan says, this isn't a positive for the season. Remember how bad we went when we replaced coordinators under Iran in the season? We got even worse than we were. This is all about next season. Oh, yeah. Because that was what happened with Norv Turner as well. So, no, that's a very good point. That is a very good point, Nathan. That is a very good point. Kevin says, and that helps us out too. That is correct with the standings. Now I know the Bucks did win, so the Falcons are back to 5-7 as we are. So let's actually take a look at the standings right quick. So we bumped up one spot from 11 to 10s with the Atlanta loss, and of course we come out of the bye week playing the Atlanta Falcons. Still got the Vikings above us, and then Washington, and then Philly with their victory. They're now in that last bye, or not bye, wild card spot at number 7. So I mean, mathematically, y'all, there is still a chance. There is still a chance. It is a very slim chance, but there is still a chance. We may not believe it. We may not believe it, but there is still a chance. The Viking game. Yes. Lions really did pull that out. How? Everything is aligning for us to go to the playoffs, seems like. We just got to execute, but we got to do our part. We got to do our part, because right now we do not look like a playoff team. We don't look like a playoff team. So, our Priester says, I think like Cam, he said no worries. I mean, we just got to execute. That's really what it comes down to. We got a tough schedule. We got the Bucks twice, Falcons, Saints, Bills. It's going to be tough. I mean, four division games and a tough AFC opponent in the Bills. It's going to be tough, y'all. It's going to be tough. I think playing the Falcons out of this bye week, I think, is a good start for us. I think that's a good start. I think that'll really give us a chance to see if we can get caught back up. And then the Bills, that's going to be a tough test. And then the Bucks after Christmas Day. Because right now, the only two games I could see us winning right now are the Falcons and the Saints. Saints have kind of struggled some. And the Falcons, they've been struggling as well. So those are really the only two games I could see us winning. And the funny thing about it, the Panthers, Falcons, and Saints, all three of these teams are 5-7. And that's what makes this scenario so crazy. All three of those teams are 5-7. So I know the Bucks haven't sealed the division yet, but despite being 5-7, we are technically the second in the NFC South. We're second because we have to remember we have the one victory over the Falcons already, and the one victory over the Saints from the second game of the season. So we have those tiebreakers, but I think we got a good chance of sweeping the Falcons and the Saints. We just gotta get it done. Pep Hamilton is a name I hope we look at for offensive coordinator. Pep Hamilton. Let's take a look at him. Oh, he's a Charlotte native. Okay. From Howard University. Passing game coordinator / quarterbacks coach. 47 years old, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, snap. North Carolinian. Alfonso Pep Hamilton. Ooh, he's got quite a resume. Dang, he's got a big old resume. He was a head coach in the XFL. Okay. It's 3-2 coaching in the XFL. Let's see. He's a quarterbacks coach at Howard. Then was a offensive coordinator. Wow, so he's coached with the Jets as a quarterbacks coach, wide receivers coach. With the 49ers, he was a quarterbacks coach. With the Bears, quarterbacks coach. In Stanford, he was wide receivers coach, quarterbacks coach, and offensive coordinator. Was the offensive coordinator with the Colts for a couple of years. Assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach with the Browns. Then he was assistant head coach and passing game coordinator with the Michigan Wolverines. Then head coach and general manager of the DC Defenders of the XFL. Quarterbacks coach with the Chargers. And is currently with the Houston Texans as the passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Wow, he's been around. He's been around. Wow. He's definitely been around. Nathan John says if we want to go with a lot of experience, Jim Caldwell would work. They'd be the two just off the top of my head. Hamilton was Luck's quarterbacks coach at Stanford and has been Justin Herbert's quarterbacks coach. Currently with the Chargers. It says here he's with the Texans under David Culley. Yeah, apparently he's the Texans passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach under David Culley. Interesting. I didn't know he coached in the XFL. And Jim Caldwell, I wonder where he is now. Oh yeah, that's right. He was with the Lions at one point. Ugh. Ugh. And then let's see. Was assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach with Miami under Brian Flores, but then took a leave of absence and then he wasn't retained. Mm. Wait a minute. Oh, that's right, Nathan. I'm sorry. I got him mixed up with Matt Patricia because I was like, wait a minute. Didn't Caldwell do bad with the Lions? But no, it was Matt Patricia. That's who I got mixed up with. Thank you. That's who I got mixed up with. Yeah, Matt Patricia. Yeah, Matt Patricia was terrible. He was very terrible. Matt Patricia was bad. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. Caldwell, 2016 with a 9-7 record, got the wild card that year. But then they lost to the Seahawks. I think that might have been the last time they were in the playoffs. Oh yeah, good call. Caldwell's record with the Lions, 36-28, making him the first non-interim Lions coach to leave the team with a winning record since Joe Schmidt. Wow. So why the heck did they let him go? What the heck? So why did they let him go? Wow. They let him go after they made the wild card? Because the Lions aren't typically a team that you see in the playoffs. They're not. And I think that was the last time they went to the playoffs. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Nathan John, you're right. Last time Caldwell coached, took the Lions 9-7, replaced them with Matt Patricia. Yeah. Definitely bad move. Joe Valesco says, how about Doug Peterson? Doug Peterson, well, Doug Peterson might not be a bad idea. What do y'all think about Doug Peterson? That actually might not be a bad idea. I mean, I know he was a head coach when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. They let him go because they hired Quinn from the Pats front office to be the GM, and he wanted Matt Patricia. Gotcha. Nathan John says, you wouldn't like Doug Peterson, Blitz. He likes tanking. Oh, nope. I don't want him then. I don't want him then. Oh my goodness. I'm going to try to say this name correctly. Do forgive me if I mess this up. Enrico, Atwater. Please forgive me if I butcher your name. Welcome to the stream. People actually mad this bum got fired. Explain this to me. How? Predictive play calling. Wait, there's a bunch of folks that are mad over this firing? I mean, I can't say I was mad. I was shocked because I didn't think they would do this now. But am I mad at it? Nah, I can't say that I'm mad at it. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Joe Brady, so I'm glad he's gone. But there's actually a bunch of folks that are mad at this firing. I don't know why they would be mad. I mean, it was going to happen. It was going to happen, whether it was now or at the end of the season. I felt strongly it was going to happen. If you ask me, I think David Tepper was a big influence on this decision happening. You know, not saying that that's the case, but I think he was a big influence and was just like, look, it's the bye week. You got to do something. You got to make some sort of change. And if you ask me, I think that this could be the last ditch effort for Matt Rule to save his job, depending on how these last 5 games go. Perhaps. Play calling that potentially got C-Mac hurt. Why didn't we use him more like a wide receiver, put him in the slot like Edelman? Nathan would definitely agree with you, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that. You know, after all, C-Mac has great hands, great speed, and great route running. Very intelligent player. Mike Davis was a back we could have brought back for nothing. I thought he wanted to get paid because of how well he did. Because of how well he did as C-Mac's backup. I thought the situation was that he wanted to really get paid. But at the same time, I mean, he hasn't really been that great with Atlanta. I mean, Cordell Patterson has really been who's been carrying the load for Atlanta. Mike Davis has had is in the rotation, but he hasn't really done as good as Cordell Patterson in Atlanta so far. So, yeah, give or take. But yeah, he was balling last year with Carolina. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. He played great for Carolina last year. So, with more people in the chat, what do y'all think? Is Matt Rule next? Do you believe Matt Rule is next? Do you believe that he will make it through the end of the season? And do you think he will at least start out as head coach in the 2022 season? Now that Joe Brady is gone, he's out of there. We drafted the receiver from LSU. I never hear his name. Oh, Terrace Marshall Jr. I think the last good play Terrace Marshall Jr. got was a reception in the end zone for a 2-point conversion. I think that's the last time his name was called. Nathan says, doesn't matter what running back we have behind this sorry O-line until that is fixed, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a really, really big issue that we really need to address ASAP to really see a lot of this offense clicking. I mean, we're already going to be taking some risks regardless with this O-line the way it is. So that's why that's the ginormous hole that we got to really patch up ASAP. Enrico says, no, Matt needs a more experienced offensive coordinator, period. And that could be the case. That could definitely be the case. I know a lot of people are already on board with Matt Rule at least getting one more year. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does get one more year. This is the deal. People were high on Brady. He had Burrow and Chase and a great O-line. Any coach would benefit from that. Well, I think not only that, but I think many were kind of looking at his college accolades to kind of speak for themselves. I mean, with him winning the Broyles Award and being deemed the best assistant that year when LSU won the championship, I personally felt like with all these accolades that he had and with him being put on a team that has the talent, I honestly would have thought there wouldn't have been any excuses with Joe Brady calling the offense and having success. But oh, were we fooled. Oh, were we fooled. That was situational talent, but they don't. Yeah, and just Joe Brady turned out to be a bust. And I'm not sure who may pick him up, but something tells me he's going back to college. I think something tells me he's going back to college. So yeah. I mean, I was really expecting some good things to happen with Joe Brady, just mainly based off his accolades and what he was able to do with the talent that was there at LSU. I thought it, maybe in 2 years or so he could translate that into the NFL, but no, that did not happen. Look at what Arizona does, what KC does. With C-Mac, those are the plays we should run with him and Cam. And I am a little bit hopeful, with Jeff Nixon taking over and this offensive play calling being a group effort from the offensive staff. I really hope they will at least do a better job utilizing the talent, Cam, the running back combo we have and Chuba Hubbard and Amir Abdullah. Hopefully we'll use the tight ends. And, use our receivers to the best of their abilities. But the thing about, who we have on the team that's a deep threat, we're gonna need the time. But with the offensive line that we have, we don't have the time to go deep. That's the thing that sucks. We don't have the O-line to give the quarterback the time needed to go deep. So we're going to have to really they're going to have to dig deep. It's really going to take a team effort. But like I said, coming out of this bye week and going up against Atlanta at home will be a good test. It'll be a good start. Properly with the Raiders. What Nixon is going to do is get the tight ends involved. Remember Olson? That's what we're missing. Of course, absolutely. Greg Olson, arguably one of the best tight ends that we've had ever to play for the Panthers organization. I am high on Tommy Tremble, and I hope to see Tommy Tremble get more involved and get more touches, as well as Ian Thomas. I mean, Ian Thomas hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but he has been able to make the best of some opportunities, some touches he's had. And Tommy Tremble, he definitely has the ability to grow into a premier tight end. So I hope to see more of those two. Hopefully they can get those two going in the tight end game, in the run game and in the passing. Then we need to work the slot. I'm trying to really figure out what's missing with the slot. Because like I said, Terrace Marshall hasn't been called on a lot. And, our 1 and our 2 is DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I still don't know what the deal is with Shi Smith. I guess he must have a serious injury or something. I don't know what the deal is with Shi Smith. I would love to see him more involved. Um, we haven't really seen Willie Snead's number called much, if any. Zilstra. I mean, we do have Zilstra. Zilstra has been, able to make some plays when he makes the catches. So, um, not worried about the D at all. Horn was on the way. Oh yeah, J.C. Horn was an immediate impact until he got hurt. I wouldn't pay Dante though. Honestly, I think there's a good chance they're going to let Dante walk. I don't think they're going to re-sign him. I don't think they're going to re-sign him. Uh, McCaffrey in the slot. I don't trust DJ's hands. Wait, you don't trust DJ's hands? He's our top receiver. Why do you say that? He's our top receiver. He has 66 catches. 66 catches, 854 yards receiving. I know he doesn't have a lot of touchdowns, but he's got 66 catches. Let's see. Dante's been getting burnt all year. I don't know about all. Well, that's questionable. I mean, I felt like the second half of the season started to see more of Dante getting burnt. Um, Soft. If he wasn't soft, he'd have 1,500-yard season. Well, we did have Sam Darnold for half of the season, bro. I mean, and you have to also remember, look, and even in his career, he has over 4,000 yards receiving, 274 catches. Soft, I have to disagree. I'd have to disagree. I feel like the only big struggle he had was his rookie year because he had fumbleitis, but he's cleaned that up. He had fumbleitis his rookie year, but he cleaned that up. I mean, if anything, he's been the most productive wide receiver he's had, especially having multiple quarterbacks. He hasn't had a stable quarterback. Every big play wide receivers get is on him. He ain't Steve Smith. Well, I mean, Steve Smith was one of a kind. Steve Smith was one of a kind. Not only that, I mean, uh, missing Curtis Samuel. And not only that, yeah, which Curtis Samuel, I did like Curtis Samuel. Not only that, you have to also remember DJ Moore specializes in yak. He specializes in yak, which was one of Steve Smith's specialties. Not only that, the dude was endorsed by Steve Smith. And honestly, I get where you're coming from. I can't be hard on DJ Moore. He's the last person that I could think of to really be hard on, especially compared to Robbie Anderson, which, I'm not ready to give up on Robbie Anderson yet, mainly because he did come off a 1,000-yard receiving year last year, which he's never done that until he got to Carolina. Are you excited for us to play better next week? I'm anxious. I'm anxious. Moore is good, but no dog. He has to prove it. I almost feel like we need a diva. But I say again, he's been one of the quicker players to reach 4,000 yards receiving in just his fourth year, 14 touchdowns. I mean, okay. Let me ask you this. What, I guess, if you would like, give me a few names, like other than Steve Smith, who you would consider dogs. I'm curious to hear if you have some names you would consider as dogs. Fire away. Super Trebo, what's up? Who do you think the Panthers should go for offensive coordinator, Jason? Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Normally, if he wasn't in the running for head coach, I would say Eric Bieniemy, but he's going to be in the running for head coach. I mean, Norv Turner coming back would be nice. I mean, he has that experience with Cam. I don't know. I'm kind of having sort of an open mind, but I definitely do not want Jason Garrett. Definitely no to Jason Garrett. Enrico says, T.O., Terrell Owens, OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. maybe. Oh, so you like the diva wide receivers. You like the wide receivers that create the most drama. But I mean, he's got a point. They were excellent. They were excellent. I mean, Terrell Owens, I don't like the guy, but he was one heck of a wide receiver. Do I feel like he got snubbed in the Hall of Fame? Sure. But nah, was never a big fan of Terrell Owens, but he got it done. He got it done. Ones with a chip, yeah. Although unfortunately, T.O. wasn't able to get the chip. Came close. Came very close with the Eagles. Came close. But yeah. Still not sure if they're going to exercise that 5th-year option on DJ Moore yet, because they haven't done that yet. So that might still be up in the air. Super Trebo says, even though Matt Rule most likely will be back next year, still think job O-line. Oh, a chip on their shoulders. Oh, okay, Enrico. Thank you for clarifying. Chip on the shoulders. Thank you for clarifying. Super Trebo, even though Matt Rule most likely will be back next year, still think the job for O-line next 5 games is hard to believe. Panthers are still second in the division and can get the wild card as bad as they've been. Yeah. I mean, they're second in the NFC South, and they're back on that 10th seed. I mean, they're still in it, but it's going to be difficult. Kelvin Benjamin had it the first year he was there. I mean, yeah, had 1,000 yards receiving his first year, if I remember correctly, which I like Kelvin Benjamin. I think just the only problem was, like, it got to the point where he just wasn't trying on his routes, and he struggled keeping his weight in check. Dude had great talent. Dude had potential. Just couldn't keep his weight in check. And just, unfortunately, that took a hit. And he wasn't able to bounce back. I mean, he had an opportunity to play some tight end, but I mean, yeah, his weight just kind of got a little out of hand. He should have been a tight end. Oh, well, there you go. You said it. He should have been a tight end. But yeah, I mean, Steve Smith, my all-time favorite player to ever play for the Panthers. Steve Smith definitely had one of the biggest chips on his shoulder, and that was Steve Smith was a little dog that had a ginormous bite to back up his ginormous bark. That's how I would describe Steve Smith. The littlest dog with a ginormous bark, followed by a ginormous bite. And that's Agent 89. So, Jeff Nixon, this offensive staff, how do y'all think the offense will do? Just curious what your predictions are for these next 5 games. You think we'll see some positive changes? Do you think they will carry us through, at least on the offensive side? Y'all's thoughts on that? Super Trebo says, it's one thing if your team is bad and you're around fellow Panther fans, but I'm on a few Panther fans here in Augusta, Georgia, and it sucks when your team is bad and it's mostly Falcons fans by you. Oh yeah, I can imagine that's annoying. I can definitely imagine that's annoying. It's kind of how I felt when I was at the Eagles-Panthers game, and I was sitting mostly surrounded by Eagles fans. It's sad because I was at the home game and I was surrounded by tons of Eagles fans. There were like maybe a few Panther fans sitting around me, but not as many as Eagles fans, that's for sure. But, I definitely... And then I know a lot of folks, especially on the Panthers Facebook page, I know a lot of folks are like, Joe Brady's gone. They should have taken Cam with them. Oh, snap. Twandon, the bad guy. Thank you for stopping by. Yes. Welcome to the stream. I called for his job all year. I wasn't a fan of Joe Brady. I know he's young. I know he, picked up a, few accolades in college, but just he really dropped the ball with this offense. I mean, we have a lot of talent on this team, and he just looked like he had no idea what he was doing with this offense. I don't know if him being up in the booth instead of down there on the field was a big issue, but it was bad. It was bad. Just Joe Brady. Whew. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. I'm glad to support your show. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. It's a small show, but hey, I do it for fun. You know what I mean? But yeah. This was big. For this to happen at the bye week, this is big. But many wonder, is Coach Matt Rule next? Perhaps. These final five, I'm gonna do my Booker T. The final 5 games this season is gonna really say something. But like I said, we come out of this bye against the Falcons, who lost today. We're kind of in reset mode. We'll have to see what Cam can do these last 5 games and just see what Jeff Nixon and this offensive staff can put together and really try to get this offense back on track, because we got a big hole to dig ourselves out of. And even though statistically we're not out of the playoff hunt, that door is really small. Really, really small. Nearly microscopic small. So y'all got to get to work. Offensive staff and defense. We can't sleep on defense yet, because lately, past few games, the defense has kind of kind of been a little slack. So I know Joe Brady's gone, but we can't turn our attention away from the defense as well. The defense has been a little slack these past few games. So defense is going to have to get back on track, especially with us coming into this next game with no J.C. Horn and no Dante Jackson. So I'm very anxious, y'all. I'm very anxious to see the type of changes and how they take effect when we play this next game against Atlanta at home. And then we have to also remember we only have 2 of these games are our final home games. And we got to look at how we've done all season. We've only won twice at home, ladies and gentlemen. Only twice. So I don't think we have a choice but to win out. We haven't done a good job at protecting home field. We have to win out. But we're going to have to take one game at a time. One game at a time. And I feel bad for Cam and just the situation he was thrown in. I really feel bad for Cam. You know, a lot of people want to look at Cam's numbers that Miami game and just crap on him. But there's a lot more to that. There's a lot more to that. And it's just, overall, it's a rough situation. It's a really rough situation. But hopefully the bye will help reset things and get things back on track. Super Trey Bo says, what worries me is the Panthers always play bad after the bye week, and they're wearing their all-black jerseys again. They have lost all black jersey games, and Cam has still not won since the start of 2018. 0-10, unfortunately. 0-10. I mean, we won the Arizona game, but he wasn't the starter. So these are facts. These are facts. Maybe that curse gets broken this year. Maybe. I hope so. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. I just really feel like with these types of changes, hopefully, changes for the good. But then again, Joe Brady being gone, that's a good big change. But as we get geared up to resume the season, Falcons, Bills, Bucks, Saints, Bucks. We got to get it done. Got to win out. No excuses. We got to win out. It's a must. We have to win out. But anyway, I'm going to leave the floor open for any remaining questions. Then I'm going to probably shut this down right at 7 p.m. EST. So, what are y'all's thoughts? How we going to do these last 5 games of the season? How we going to do? No more Joe Brady. For the end of this year, no more Christian McCaffrey because he's out. No more Dante Jackson. He's out. How do y'all think we do in these last 5 games? Because like I said, according to the standings, we're at the 10th seed. We are here. Let me go back to it. We're the second in the NFC South. But then again, Panthers, Falcons, and Saints are all 5-7. Like I said, we're sitting at the 10th seed behind the Vikings, who are also 5-7, but of course the Vikings are above us since they beat us. Washington Right now, they're playing the Raiders. They're down by 1 point against the Raiders. So Washington could potentially fall. Now, the Eagles did win today because they beat the Jets. So Eagles are hanging on by a thread, but they have the 7th seed right now. So it's still close, y'all. I mean, realistically, I want to say everybody down to the Seattle Seahawks still technically may have a chance. Or maybe down as low as the Giants and Bears, but I could be wrong. But, yeah, we got a battle. So technically, right now, the only NFL team that is statistically eliminated from the playoffs, from the playoff hunt, are the Houston Texans. Go figure. One of the teams that has a lot of drama behind Deshaun Watson are now statistically eliminated from the playoff hunt. Currently sitting at 2-10. Wow. Super Trebo says, yeah, I miss North Carolina so bad, Jason. Only way I get to talk to Panther fans is online, YouTube, and online. It's rare. I talk to other Panther fans here in Augusta. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Danielle Sarton, welcome to the stream. As a Panther fan, I kind of don't want to make the playoffs and get better draft position. We emptied the cupboard and looking bad. Which that can potentially happen as well. That can potentially happen. Speaking of which, let me look. Let me look at Tankathon right quick, see what we have. So if the draft were to start right now, we would have the 9th pick in the first round. We would have the 9th pick, which is one later than what we had last season. Got so much dead money next year on cap space. Rebuild not looking good. Yeah, and when you think about it, it halts any plans of trading Christian McCaffrey because of how much dead cap we would eat. That $26 million in dead cap, we can't do that. We can't do that. And if we were to do it next year, it would still be $17 million in dead cap. Yeah, it's not a good idea. If anything, I hope some way, somehow, we're able to get some picks back. Because remember, we don't have a 2nd and a 3rd round pick. Because we gave those to the Jets and to Jacksonville. So we don't have a 2nd and a 3rd round pick. So really got a lot to fix. But I hope a big priority will be O-line. That's like ASAP. That has to be fixed. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I want to thank y'all for stopping by, checking this out, joining me for this episode. Joe Brady, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Ah! Okay, I had to do that. I'm sorry. I had to do that. Best chances we get a high draft pick and trade back, but O-line prospects would be gone. Yeah, that's a double-edged sword. That's a double-edged sword because we really need to fix the O-line, but I really think it should be a combination of free agency and the draft for O-line. Next, get Rule gone and call the Chiefs. You want Bieniemy? You want Bieniemy? Is that what you're saying, Danielle? You want Bieniemy, don't you? Don't you? Which I don't blame you. I think that'd be a good pickup. But yeah, Matt Rule, he could be next. His job isn't necessarily safe. his job ain't safe. So, hey, we'll see how these 5 games play out. But his job ain't safe either. But said that's right. Yep. But anyway, looking forward to my next video. Next Carolina Panthers talk video, barring any craziness happens, we will do a preview of the second matchup with the Atlanta Falcons, which will be at home, not this coming Sunday. And we'll see if we can get back on track, y'all. 5 games remaining. It's going to be interesting. We already are going to have one of the most crazy, interesting off seasons after the season's over. Let's see how we finish out. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the notification bell. Thank y'all so much for the love and support, for the likes, for the attendance, for feeding me information. It's always good getting feedback from y'all and just seeing y'all contribute to the conversation. Thank you so much. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ, Jason Ingram of Blitzball Champ Gaming. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope everybody has a blessed evening. I'm going to go get ready to watch NXT TakeOver War Games, final pay-per-view for WWE this year. Hopefully, it'll be decent, but we'll see. Anyway, thank y'all so much. Hope y'all have a blessed rest of your day, and I will see y'all later this week. No matter what happens, keep pounding. We're going to get through this. Some way, somehow, we're going to get through this. Love y'all. Have a blessed evening.